What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Celio's Network. Today we're going to take a look at the top 8 deck lists from the Champions League Yokohama, which was played in the Ultra Prism through what will roughly be Vivid Voltage for us, but this was of course a Japanese tournament. IRL, I did a video all about talking about how they ran this IRL tournament. LimitlessTCG.com says it was 1,500 players. I know that their capacity was 1,664, I think, but maybe they only hit 1,500 masters. So we actually don't have the lists, or Limitless TCG does not have the lists for all 8 of the top 8 lists, but there were 2 Luke Metal, 2 Colossal, 2 Eternatus, and 2 Baby Blounds, and they do have 1 list for each of the archetypes that were in top 8, coincidentally. So we will be able to look at least 1 deck list from each of the archetypes that were in the top 8, so that's pretty cool. Before we do that, though, shout out to Bloodhounds store, the best place for you to get PTCGO codes. Use code CELIO for 5% off over at bloodhoundsstore.com. And like I said, this is roughly Ultra Prism through Vivid Voltage, and bloodhoundsstore.com will have Vivid Voltage codes as soon as they are available. So, like I said, be sure to check them out for all of your PTCGO needs. So let's take a look at the top 8 Eternatus list. So this is, of course, what was considered pre-rotation, plus, of course, the new sets as well. So they will have some cards in these decks that are not available to play in the North American standard format, the European standard format, everywhere outside of Japan's standard format. But it's still interesting to look at these lists, and I know some people wanted to see them. So here we have Eternatus Vmax as the top 8 spot. Let's just right away call out the cards that are no longer legal for us. So this Alone Meowth with Spoil the Fun has rotated out. Evil Tall GX has rotated out, and Counter Gain has rotated out. Everything else is still good to go. Something interesting, they're playing Power Plant in their Eternatus VMAX lists. There was actually still Power Plant in their previous Eternatus VMAX lists from the PJNO back in their Ultra Prism through Darkness Ablaze, I believe, standard format. They were playing Power Plant back then as well. It wasn't really something that caught on in the outside of Japan lists, or I'll just say the global lists. But I do know that Pablo Mesa played Eternatus with, I believe, 4 Power Plant to the Hexter tournament the other night. So something that might finally be starting to come over to the global lists from the Japan lists. But yeah, nothing too crazy happening in this list. Only 2 Galarian Zigzagoon, which is less than we typically see in our lists. Also 2 Absol, which I have been playing in my own list in Absol for quite a while now, but any Absol at all, let alone 2, is very rare in non-Japanese lists, so that's something cool to note. And of course, these 2 cards, the Evil Tall GX is very, very good, but not playable in our standard format. Something interesting though, there's no scoop up net in this, but they do play the 2 Galarian Zigzagoon, so I guess the plan is to use Power Accelerator plus 1 Headbutt Tantrum plus 1 Doom Count GX. On to the next one. We're in full screen here, so I forget what's the back tab. Professional YouTuber, 1 second. Okay, I forget what the back tab is, so we're just gonna have to pop out of full screen mode to do that. Okay. Slight hiccup there. I forget if there's a hotkey for back. I feel like I should know that. I'm gonna have to refresh the page. Here we go. Okay, so next we've got Colossal Vmax. So this one's going to be very, very different when looking at what Japan can play in their standard format compared to what we'll be able to play when Vivid Voltage comes out for us. So Colossal Vmax is a new Pokemon coming out in Vivid Voltage. It does 40 for 1 energy and discard the top card of your deck. If it's an energy, you do 90 damage, and I actually believe you attach the energy too, so let's look that up real quick. Colossal Vmax, Legendary Heartbeat. Yeah, discard the top if it's energy, do 90 more damage, then attach that energy to this Pokemon. Wow, I knew that exactly. Awesome. So yeah, first attack 40, max of 130, and you can also accelerate an energy. That's why it's played with Magcargo Smooth Over and Oranguru. You know, we don't have Magcargo Smooth Over in our standard format, but we do have Oranguru, so we can use Primate Wisdom to put you know, like the new Stone Fighting energy on top. Then you discard it, do extra damage, and attach to Stone Fighting. Regular Colossal V, nothing to really talk about. And they also played Jirachi Prism, which I imagine is very important. You know, it's their way to take an extra prize card. So although this isn't necessarily the kind of deck where you would say, you know, we're going to throw the Jirachi combo in, since they're already playing Smooth Over and Oranguru, it does make sense. But Jirachi Prism has also rotated for our standard format, so we cannot use that. The new Stone Fighting energy attacks done to the fighting Pokemon it's attached to do 20 less damage, so that's a really strong card. And I believe all of the trainers are still in standard format. Yep. Okay, so a good portion of the Pokemon core is rotated out, though. The 3-3 Magcargo and the Jirachi, so we'll also not be playing the Mr. Mime either. There was a Colossal Vmax deck piloted by Shintaro Ito. I have not seen his list publicized yet, but I am going to go back and watch the stream and kind of reverse engineer the list. I don't think it's going to be too hard since he did deck out in the game, so we got to see most of his deck on the stream. But his list is something that looks like it can almost entirely be built in our soon-to-be standard format with Vivid Voltage, since it focused on the new Snorlax, Lily's Pokédoll, and Colossal Vmax. It was kind of like a new age Primal Groudon almost. So yeah, this Colossal Vmax deck doesn't translate entirely too well to our soon-to-be standard format, but you could still use the Oranguru Primate Wisdom. And then we've got Luke Metal Zashin. This got second in this tournament, and real quick we'll just go through the cards that have rotated. I believe Duskmane Necrozma has rotated, but yeah, I think it rotated. Even if it didn't, it's not that great in our current standard format, but I think it rotated. Let's see, Coding Metal Energy is new. A Skateboard has rotated. Metal Frying Pan has rotated. Okay, everything else is still good to go. So the new Coding Metal Energy, will cover that. It counts as a metal, and then that Pokemon has no weakness. So Metal Frying Pan has rotated, but Coding Metal is the new way to, for us at least, to remove weakness instead of weakness guard energy. So I think this might just become like a 4 of in the deck, since Metal Frying Pan is gone in the non-Japan standard format. And then they do play the Capture Energy, which I really like Capture Energy. But the rest of the list is pretty straightforward, kind of like the North American Luke Metal lists, except they are playing Jirachi. Now, of course, they have a Skateboard, so that could be a reason to play Jirachi, but I really like the minimalist Luke Metal lists that are just like 4 Zashin, 2 Zamazenta, 2 Luke Metal, and you play like a Decigoon's Tech if necessary. And yeah, so nothing else really to note here, in my opinion, about this list. And then we'll go to the first place list, which was Baby Blounds. So Baby Blounds, couple new cards, maybe one new card. Yeah, I think only one new card, actually. Yikes. Okay, so but the cards that have been rotated, Heat Factory has rotated, and 4 Fiery Flint, that rotated as well. And and Blacephalon GX, of course, but they did not play Skateboard. Okay, yeah, so it's just those 3 cards that rotated for us. Blound GX, Heat Factory, and Fiery Flint. Blound GX and Fiery Flint are very important cards that we lost for Baby Blounds. Heat Factory, not so important, because I think like Giant Hearth is sometimes almost as good, sometimes it's even better, because getting exactly 2 fire energy can be what you needed to do, especially with Fiery Flint gone. And they only played 2 actual Baby Blounds, because they also played a lot of backup attackers, like the Blacephalon GX for its Burst GX. They played Reshiram and Charizard GX tag team for either 200 for 3 energy or 300 for 6 energy. They also played the new Talonflame V, which for this one we'll go ahead and do a little search and get that translation up. So Talonflame V with a cool full art version over here. If you go first, you can use this attack on your first turn, discard your hand, draw 6 cards, and then its second attack does 160, discard an energy from this Pokemon. So I'm not sure I like this better than Zashin V. I feel like you'd rather just bench Zashin V and leave out active whatever you had active, and not have to attach, not have to discard your hand. Just draw 3 cards with Zashin V's Intrepid Sword. I think that might just be better, because then even if you go second, you can still use Intrepid Sword. Yeah, Zashin's just definitely better. I'm not sure that... Oh, well, this is free retreat. Maybe like the saving grace of the card is it's free retreat. So I'm not sure. I think I like Zashin V better, but they did use this Talonflame V. They had Cramorant V as an attacker, which is common. Zigzagoon, since they are playing Scoop Up Net, and that works well with Spit Shot. Tapu Fini, I guess, for the mirror, if they thought that was going to be popular. Marshadow to get rid of Chaotic Swell, and that's kind of it. So yeah, thank you for bearing with me through trying to learn how to back tab when I'm in full screen and searching for the translations of cards. But some cool new stuff from Japan. The Colossal deck, looking at some of their similarities and how they build Eternatus and some of their differences with Eternatus. Colossal, look forward to that. I'm going to be trying to do a Shintaro Ito styled Colossal Vmax profile soon-ish. I'm not really sure when the Vivid Voltage content will start exactly, but it should be pretty soon. Let me know if you want to see Vivid Voltage like ASAP, and I'll see what I can do about that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Shout out PotownStore.com. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already for daily Pokemon TCG content. Leave a like if you liked the video, or a thumbs down if you hated everything about it. Hope you had a good day, and I'll see you next time here on Celio's Network.